Good afternoon, all. Welcome to the 5-day faculty development program on Introduction to Python. Today is the fourth day, and we are going to start very shortly with a speaker, Somsekhar BM, Professor Somsekhar BM. Let me introduce to today's speaker, Somsekhar BM, a professor at Assistant Professor, Department of Information and Science, working for past 13 years with the Masters of Technology MTech in from PS Mandya. He is currently pursuing his PhD under MET Research Lab, MIT Mysore. His areas of interest are image processing and pattern matching. And he has written various papers and presented in various conferences and national journals. His current reward to his credit, he has 12 papers to his name. Today's specialty is for the research scholars or the beginners who are looking for Python. He is going to give a very good idea, and with respect to MATLAB or image processing, those who are pursuing research. With this, I'm going to welcome Professor Somsekhar BM, Information and Science Department. Thank you all. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Ashwin sir. I am audible. Okay, thank you. Okay, good afternoon to the all participants over here. Okay, today, as per the schedule, okay, I'm going to discuss regarding the data structure of Python, that is sets and dictionary, and along with that one, I followed with that what do you mean by class and objects, how to define and declare the objects and classes. These are the concepts I supposed to continue as per the schedule. Okay, today I'm going to share my slides. Okay, anyone please disclose that when slides are visible. Okay, thank you. Okay, before start of my class, my discussion today, I'm going to introduce what you mean by data structure, why you need that one, and what are the concepts they're going to discuss in the previous class, and I continue my regular class today. Okay, then today, okay, the Python data structure in the sense, okay, you need having a many more data. Okay, data have to be stored in the memory in a particular order. How best way you can store the data in your memory, that will be deal with your data structures. Okay, in our Python, we're going to store our data in the 4 different ways. Okay, that is sets, tuples, a dictionary. Okay, see today's for discussion we're having sets and dictionary. Okay, yesterday we see a few of the concepts regarding tuples and all. Then first thing is that one, what do you mean by sets? Okay, what do you mean by sets in the Python? Sets are used to store the multiple items in the single variable. Okay, you can store the multiple variables. Okay, multiple items in the single variable. You can store. Okay, just like an array. It's just like array in your C program. Array means collection of homogeneous data elements. No, here you can store the multiple items in the single variable. Next, in the sets, it is a collection. Okay, set is a collection which is unordered and unindexed. Okay, you don't have any order. It means okay, it is randomly changed continuously, and you can't index also. Okay, it means okay, it's 0th position. This element is there. The 2nd position, this element is there. Like that, you can't make any index in the sets. Okay. Next, sets are written by using this flower braces. What you're going to see in your C program. Okay, you are write your sets inside the flower braces. Okay, see here we having an example. Okay, here I see an example that one. Okay, this set having the 3 components: apple, banana, cherry. Okay, see I want to demonstrate this program in the Spider. Okay, platform. Okay, Spider is a platform. Okay, it's an open source. It's a free version. okay, you can use to run your Python programming. See, I am created a set by using this set, okay. Sorry, spider is visible, please anyone can confirm, and I can easily switch out. Spider is visible, screen. Anyone please replay? Oh, okay, thank you. Fine. This set is the set variable. Okay, this set is a set variable. I assign the three components over there: apple, banana, and cherry. Okay. See, you're supposed to use the flower braces to define these sets. Okay. If I print this one, you can see the output over here. Okay. See, usually I given the apple, banana, and cherry, but I already said that one set is unordered, means the elements inside this set will be order will be changed continuously. Okay, for that reason, even though I see, okay, I've given the apple, banana, cherry, but output will be defined as banana, apple, cherry. Okay, see, as per the PPT what I said, it is unordered. Okay, you can see here it is unordered here. Okay, I given the elements inside these sets in a one order, that is apple, banana, cherry, but it is displaying in the different order. Okay, if you run again the same program, okay, the order may be changed or it may retain as it is. It's not an issue. Okay, usually it will be changed continuously. It will change continuously. It means, okay, elements inside the sets are unordered. Okay, elements inside the sets are unordered. Okay, once it is unordered instance, you can't index also. Why? Because first time it comes with some element instance, second time it comes with the second element. The first concept of the sets says that one, the elements inside the sets are unordered and unindexed, and sets supposed to return inside the flower braces. This is the first concept we supposed to discuss. Okay, this is first concept. Okay, I hope you understood. Okay, where we having the program also written. Okay, we written in the single order. Okay, one order, then the output will be in the different order. Okay, next move on to the next slide. Okay, next how the set items are. Okay, already we discussed. Set items are unordered and unchangeable. Okay, once this set is created, okay, you can't change the value inside that. Okay, you can't modify. You can't modify, and it not allow the duplicated value. Okay, it not allow the duplicated value means, see that one in the PPT, you can see that one. See this set having the values apple, banana, cherry, and once again apple. The fourth element is decided as the same element as the first element. Okay, this set elements, okay, apple is repeated twice. Okay, if you execute that one, okay, it according to PPT it says that one, it not allow the duplicated value. If the elements are duplicated in sense, it rejected that one, and only the one element will be considered. Okay, I will show these things inside the program. See that. Okay, in my set, okay, I have the value apple, banana, cherry, and once again apple. Means this set includes four elements where the apple repeat twice. Apple repeat twice. Okay, as per the standard way, you say that one sets not allow the duplication. Set not allow the duplication. If you run that one instance, you can see that one banana and apple, cherry. Only three elements are displayed. Only three elements are displayed. It means sets avoid the duplication. Sets avoid the duplication. Okay, see if you spell wrongly apple, okay, APPL, okay, if I set that one instance, it considered as a new element. Okay, it's not as same as it won't allow, it is not a duplication here. APPLE here, but here we are having APPL. Okay, if you run that one instance, it considered as a new element, and all four elements are displayed. See that one, apple, banana, apple, cherry, APPL. Okay, because I wrongly spelled. Okay, it means it becomes a new value there. Okay, next it means you can here also you can see that one, it is unordered. Okay, usually what the first element here we are given, it may be the not the first element. Here apple will get replaced with the fourth element to the third element. It means it is unordered and unindexed, and duplication values are not allowed. Duplicated values are not allowed. This is the next concept of the sets. Okay, next two. See, you're supposed to go back to the previous yesterday session. Okay, there they discussed regarding the list, tuples, set, okay, tuples. Today we are discussing the sets and dictionary. Okay, this side has, okay, put it only to the reason saying that one I need to view the difference between all four. Okay, why? Because these are the data structures or array the concepts of your Python. Okay, there we are having a list. Okay, it will be written in the single braces. It is a collection ordered and unchangeable. Okay, list values are ordered. Okay, once the orders are given in sense, it won't change the order and it can change and allow the duplicated members. List allows the duplicated member, but tuples is a collection which is ordered and unchangeable and allows the duplication member. Okay, list and tuples having the only difference is that one. Okay, tuples cannot be changed. List can be changed. Both are in the order. Okay, now today's we having the, okay, but list are using the small braces. Here it's going to use written by using angle braces. And sets. Okay, sets is a collection which is unordered and unindexed. Okay, the elements which inside the sets are unordered also, and it is unindexed. Okay, you can't put at the index. If the first element is always apple, second element is always banana, like that, you can't make an index. Even though when you are creating, if you are follow some order, but when you create it as a set, it won't follow any order. And okay, here in the both list and tuples, it allows the duplicated value, but in the sets, it not allow any duplicated value. Okay, next after the complete discussion of the sets, we have the dictionary. Okay, dictionary also written within the flower braces. It's a collection which is ordered. Okay, I put it at a star. Why I put it the star? When the dictionary concept come into the picture, I will discuss. Sometimes it is ordered, sometimes it is unordered also. Okay, you see the just a dictionary, just like English dictionary, standard dictionaries are seen, no Oxford dictionary, like that. Sometimes it is considered as an order. If you not consider any key value as an order instance, we can consider as an unorder also. For that reasons, okay, we mentioned order with the star and changeable. You can change the value inside the dictionary, but set inside the set you can't change the set values. Okay, no duplicated members. Okay, duplication is not allowed in the dictionary also. Okay, now simply I put this slide because to introduce what are the concepts we discussed in the previous session, in the sense yesterday and today's session. Okay, sets and dictionary we want to discuss. Next, length of the set and set items and data types. Okay, which are the different data types or data types you can store inside these sets. Okay, set can be any type. Okay, it may be boolean, it can be integer, it can be string. See that you can see in the slide. Okay, see set can be any data types. You say that one. In the set one, we are having apple, banana, and cherry. It means these are all the elements which are of the form string. Okay, set 2 is of type, all are integer types. It is natural numbers, and set 3 are all of boolean type. Okay, it's all of boolean types. Okay, which type it is, in the sense you can allow any types of data inside the sets. And what is the length of it, in the sense you can use the len function. You can use len function to know the length of it. Okay, if I pass the set 1 instance, here we are having 3 elements. It discloses the element as 3. The size of the set is 3. Okay, if you pass this one instance, here we are having 5 elements are there. It's going to say the length is 5. Okay, now you're going to check these things inside the spider or program. Okay, that I have 3 sets: set 1 apple, banana, and cherry, and I will having the second set as the numbers, and third set having the true or false value. Okay, if you print that one instance, okay, it will print as it is. It means it is boolean also. Sets allows boolean values also. It allows integer values also. It allows strings also. Okay, for that reason, okay, here you say that you can see the output. Okay, it allows and display the string values. It allows and display the integer types of values. It allows and display the boolean value. Okay, you can see the third output over here. True, false, false means false is a duplicated value. Duplication is avoided, and only the original values are displayed over here. Okay, it means sets are sets we're going to allow inside the set. You can any types of value. It may be string, boolean, fraction values, or true boolean values. Anything can be accepted inside the sets. Okay, this is the next concept. Okay, now you can check the length. Okay, you can check the length. See, now see that one. So to check the length of any sets, you can use the function called as len. What's the length of the each sets what we having? Okay, see, I shown in the program. Here we are having set 1, apple, banana, and cherry. Set 2, the numbers, and set 3, we are having the 3 components. Okay, now I am check. Okay, inside. Okay, I am displaying set 1, set 2, set 3, and try to check out the length of the set 1. Okay, length of the set 1. Length means here we are having the 3 components. For that reasons, it display as a 3. The set okay, length of the set 1 is 3. Okay, the same thing if you repeat for the set 2 and set 3. Okay, it display their lengths. It display their lengths. See that. Okay, length of the set 2 is 5, as okay, as we know here we are having the 5 numbers, and length of the set 3 is, even though we are having 3 values, it display as 2 because of the reason it avoid the duplication. The duplicated values are removed and display then the length of the sets. Length of the sets. Okay, by using len function you can check the length of the any set. Okay, this is the next concept to discuss. Okay, anyone having doubts in sense, you can query now itself. We are moving to the next concept. Before moving to the next concept, okay, okay, if you're having any doubts in sense, you can query later on through the mail. Okay, mail ID and everything will be shared at the end of the session. Next, move to the which type of data it is. Okay, you said that one, it allow any types of data. Okay, next I want to know which type of data actually my sets are stored. Which type of data my sets are stored. To know these things, we having a variable called, okay, keyword called as type. Okay, Python represents the sets defined as the object with the data type sets. Okay, see how to know that one in sense. Okay, we having a set store here, and which type it is. Okay, which type it is. Whether it is an integer type, it is numeric type, or it is a boolean type, like that you want to check in the sense, you can just pass over here. Okay, by using type. You can check out those things inside the program. Okay, see here we are having a my set. Okay, so we are having my set here. There we are having 3 variables, that is apple, banana, and cherry. And which what? Okay, see here, if you check out that one instance, which type it is instance, it shows the type of the type of the sets we having. Okay, which type it is? It's going to display the class, and it is of the form set. Set. Okay, means which type it is instance. If you say that one, it is set. If you change this one. If you change this one to the angle braces, if you change this one to the angle braces is what? Okay, it's a list. Okay, if you change this one to the smaller braces in the sense what? Which type it is? As we discussed in the yesterday class. Okay, it is a tuple. It is a tuple. Tuple will be in the smaller braces, angle braces is in the list, and flower braces is in the sets. Okay, which type of data is there inside my variable? If you want to check that one instance, you having a variable called as type. Okay, type show which type it is. Okay, see that one here, it shows the set. When I using the flower braces, when I using the angle braces, it shows it as a list. When I using the smaller braces, it shows that as it's a tuple. It's a tuple. Okay, by using type. Okay, it show which type of data set it is. Okay, type is the keyword. You can have a note of it. Okay, now how to access the data inside the sets and how to access instance how read and write operation just like IO operations. Okay, see inside the inside the sets you can access the item. You cannot access the item in any set by referencing to an index or a key. Okay, see this element supposed to sit in the first value itself. This element is supposed to sit in the second value itself. Okay, if you say that, for instance, set will not allow because it is unindexed. It is unindexed. Next I want to display, okay, I want to read the first element, second element, third element instance. By using for loop you can read that one. Okay, see loop through the set and print the values. Okay, see here I am in the PPT you can see that one. Okay, here we are having this list, there we are having three elements, that is apple, banana and cherry. I want to access instance, I want to read or write. Okay, write concept will be coming to the next concept. Okay, I want to read all the elements and display as it is. Okay, for loop. Okay, we're having a for loop over here. X is the index over there. Okay, as X is in this index instance, sorry, this list instance, until end of the all the set value is supposed to do the operation. What operation instance? Okay, go to the first element and display it. Go to the next element, display it. Go to the third element, display it. Once it try to go for fourth element, no elements are there, and for loop get wind up and come out of it. Okay. Next, once this set is created, you can't change its value. Okay, change the items. In the sense, item inside the sets cannot be modified. Okay, it is fixed. But only you can access. Okay, which are the elements are there? I want to see instance. You can see that one. Okay. Next, what is the length of it instance? You can check out of that one. Okay. Try this one inside in the program. Okay, see that here my sets having the value apple, banana and cherry. I want to display all by access instance, moving inside that one and see first element, second element, third element, like that it goes on. It goes on. See that one in the screen it is displaying apple, banana, cherry. Since it is an unindexed and an unorder, it will change the order and display as banana, apple and cherry. Only the elements inside the sets only the display, but it will not follow the order. But here we are using the for loop. Okay, for loop X is an index value. Okay, until X is in this list instance up to end of this list. Okay, up to end of the sets. Okay, it moves and display all the elements inside that. All the elements inside that. See, you can add one, two, three elements. Okay, just like apple, banana, cherry. Okay, I am using one more mango. Okay, one more element I am included and set. Okay, see that one. The four elements are displayed one after the other. Okay, not maybe the mango, maybe the last. Okay, once the order change instance, it may comes across in between anywhere. Okay, to access instance, to move, to view. Okay, how to access inside the sets? We are using for loop. Okay, I hope you people understand. Okay, to access the elements you need for loop. Okay, next, add the set items. Okay, inside the set, how to add an element? I need to add inside an element. Okay, one element inside the sets. Once set is created, you cannot change its items. Okay, elements created inside the sets cannot be changed. Okay, see that one inside my set having apple, banana, cherry. You can't modify this value. But you can add the new item inside this sets. You can add one more item, but you can't modify it. Okay, add an item to the set using the add method. How to add? You're supposed to use add function inside that. Okay, add is a function to add one more item to the sets. See here we have these sets. By using add function, I am adding the one more elements called as orange. Once you display the instance along with the existing elements, it display the new components also. Okay, see, I will demonstrate this inside the spider. that these sets having the value apple, banana, and cherry, and by using add function, I'm adding one more element to the sets, that is orange. Okay, add is a function to add one more element to the sets. Okay, now when I after adding, if I display that one instance, okay, I want to run that command. See that. Okay, see the my list consists of, okay, banana, orange, apple, and cherry. Cherry also included there. Orange, okay, orange also included there. You can see that one. Previously we having 3 elements, now we having 4 elements. Means by using add command, you can add elements inside the sets. Only way is that one, you can have add elements, add function. Okay. So if you change this one, okay, instead of orange, if you change to mango, it will add the elements mango inside that one. Simple. Okay, for the existing sets, you can add one more element. Fine. Move to the next slide. Okay, how to, okay, you find, okay, in the previous slide you found, see that. Okay, how to access, you need a for loop to access all the elements inside the sets. To add an element, you're going to using the keyword called as add. Okay, next concept is that one. Next, see, I am not interested by adding single elements. I need to add in bunch. Means I need to, okay, add the elements inside my sets in the bunch. In the sense, you can add one more or list of. How I can add the list of instance by using update function. Okay, existing sets are there, and I need to add a bunch of one more set values inside the particular sets. And that time I can use update function. See that one. This sets having apple, banana, cherry, and tropical functions having pineapple, mango, and papaya. These are the different. Okay, these are the two different sets. I want to update these sets. This set in sense is a original one. Update with the second one. In sense the second elements are all copied to the first set. Okay, first set in sense this set. And if you print this set in sense, the two elements, okay, two set elements get display. Okay, we demonstrate this inside the spider. Okay, you can see the screen. There we are having two. Here we are having two different sets, namely this set and tropical. This sets having the elements apple, banana, and cherry, and tropical fruits they are pineapple, mango, and papaya. And by using update function, I try to update this list with the tropical values. Okay, now once you print this list instance, you display all the elements. Okay, see that one. Totally, this list having 3 elements and tropical having 3 elements, it display all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, my question is that one, anyone can answer. See, if I use the duplicated value over here, what it may happen? Okay, this list having the cherry, I replace this papaya by cherry. Okay, when I try to update, it will avoid duplication or not? Anyone can answer? Fine. Usually it avoids the duplication. Okay. See, here we are having the cherry elements. Okay. Now here also I added with the one more element, that is cherry. Okay. The cherry is not displayed twice because sets avoid duplication. Set not allow duplication. Okay. By using update function, we introduce update function over here. Okay, move on to the next slide. Okay, add an item. Okay, say add an item we discussed previously. Add item is over. Okay, now I want to remove an item. Okay, I want to remove an item. To remove an item in the set, use the remove or discard method. Okay, these are the two standard functions we are having. That is, one is remove and second one is discard. Discard in the sense neglect that one. Okay, see here we have the example that one. Okay, you can see in the slide. Okay, remove. The banana is used to remove the, okay, see banana by using the remove method. I am try to remove the banana over here. See that one, my list having the 3 elements. I am trying to remove a particular items by using remove function. Okay, once the remove function remove the particular elements, the length of this length of the sets is reduced by 1. Okay, maybe how many elements are removed, on that basis it removed that reduced by 1, and the remaining elements are display. Okay, remaining elements are written in the set. Okay, we can demonstrate these things inside the program. We are having a this list. There we are having 3 elements. Now I am trying to remove one element, that is banana. If you remove that one instance, automatically, okay, the one element get deleted. One element get deleted. Okay, see if you check, okay, see before performing this operation, if you check the length of it, it displays the 3. After, okay, after removing that one, if you check the length instance, it automatically gives the value 2. You can check that one also by using length function. That, see before displaying, I am trying to check that one. See it displayed 3. After removing that one, if you check the length instance, it displayed 2. Okay, after removing that one, it displays the 2. Second 2 in the sense, once the element is removed, it displays the results. Okay, display the results and say the length is 2. Element get removed. You can check that one. Okay, how to know that one instance? You can check the length also. Length values get reduced by 1. Okay, I hope you understand. Okay, next concept. Okay, remove the last item by using pop method. Okay, see you see data structure, say that one stack, there we having the pop operation. Okay, pop instance removing an top element. Okay, removing the element from the sets. Okay, there in the C program they are going to call it as stack. Removing the element from the stack, there we are going to use pop instance removing the top element. Okay, push instance inserting the element. Okay, see here you can use, okay, previously we as per discussion we can use the function called as remove to the particular element to remove. Otherwise top of the element you can remove by using pop function. Okay, what it's going to do, you can also use pop method to remove the item, but this method will remove the last item. Okay, the elements which are at the last, okay, it will be removed that one. See in that one, here we having the elements. Okay, apple, banana, cherry. Okay, then see we are trying to this function. Okay, see which element we want to, we are assigned with the variable x is equal to this list of pop. That element get popped will be stored at the variable called as x, and if you print that x, okay, the which element get deleted it shows, and we try to display the remaining elements here. Okay, which are the elements that are at the last corner, it's going to remove automatically by using pop function. Okay, as you seen in the stack, pop function is going to remove the top elements. Okay, you can see those things inside the function program. This list having 3 elements. I am trying to pop particular, okay, pop the top of last elements in the sets. Okay, now I am printing which elements are deleted by using printing the x, and remaining elements inside this list. Okay, see that one. See that, okay, because it is dynamic, see, even though it looks apple, banana and cherry, that the last elements are banana. When so the program get executed, it remove the elements banana, and the remaining elements are displayed over here. You can observe. Okay, 3 elements are there. Now after popping, the 2 elements are there. Okay, you can check that one. Pop elements is used to, the pop element is used to discard the last elements of the sets. Okay, simple. The difference between the remove and pop. The remove the particular elements which you are tried to, which are the elements you try to remove. No, that elements only that elements will be removed from the sets, but pop, we're going to pop the last element inside the sets. Okay, move to the next concept, clear and delete. Okay, clear methods empty the sets. I want to clear all the contents inside my set. In sense, you can use clear method, and it's going to delete all the elements. Okay, just set and zero set. Okay, we're going to do operations. No, we're going to clear all the elements inside my set. Okay, once the elements are cleared, in sense, it display the null. Okay, which are the elements are there in my set, in sense, it's going to delete. Okay, next you can use delete function to delete entire set itself. Okay, I don't want this set, I want to remove this set instance. You can use clear and delete function. Okay, you can see the example over here. Here we are having 3 elements inside my set. I'm using clear function. If you print that one instance, nothing is there. Similarly, we are having delete function. Okay, if you delete that set instance, okay, if you try to display that one instance, it display empty. You can demonstrate this. Okay, see, you can see that one. See, after clear, what are there inside my set instance? It shows set is empty. You can see the output as set is empty. Before clearing that one, we are having 3 elements. Okay, now you are cleared that one. Okay, if you want to display the set instance, the set is empty here. Okay, similarly, by using delete function. Okay, delete function, it clear things. If you delete connection, it automatically delete that one, and say that one it's supposed to show error because the function it's okay, the set itself delete, the set itself delete. See the major difference. Okay, major difference between the set delete and set clear. Clear in the sense the set is available, the elements inside this sets are get cleared. Okay, delete function delete entire set itself and say that one this set is not defined. See that one, you can see the output. This function, okay, this function concept itself deleted here, but along with the elements, it deleted the entire set itself by using delete function. Previously, when you clear the things, the set is available, only the elements get cleared. Only the elements get cleared. Don't confuse that one. Clear and delete is totally different. Clear and delete are totally different. Okay, move on. Any doubts, please? Okay, move on. Okay, major difference between the clear and delete were discussed. Clear all the elements, delete entire set itself, delete function. Okay, move to the next concept. Okay, Python loop sets. You can loop through the sets item by using for loop. Okay, if you want to access the element one by one. Okay, only the way to move to the particular value inside the Python is that one you supposed to use loop. Okay, loop through the set and print the value. Okay, here they're going to given the example. Say that one. See, are moving to the individual elements. Apple. Okay, first element go access and display. Second element access and display, and third element access and display. And sense is supposed to use for loop. Okay, X is the index over there until index reach end of the set is supposed to pass through and display inside the screen. Okay, say that you're having an index, you pass one by one elements and display one after the other. Okay, see which are the elements are there, it display inside the, okay, we display in the output screen. Okay, 3 elements are there, 3 elements are passed one after the other and display accordingly. Okay, now you can join. Okay, these are the two important concepts on sets, that is join and intersection. Okay, see join and intersection, when this application, okay, for the research students, okay, these are the very important concept, that is when you are join, when you are intersect. Okay, see when we having two different data sets in your list, okay, you are having a doubt that one few elements are get duplicated, okay, few elements are not, okay, not included, because when you are dealing with any research concept, we having thousands of input data, you can't individually see all the data and say that one this is duplicated, this is repeated, this is not included. Okay, assume, okay, when you are dealing with any data set, saying that one we are having 10,000 data sets. Okay, the similar types of data sets you are available with the another model, say that one there we are having 11,000 data sets. Maybe that 100 may be duplicated or not, or the elements which are not there with you, I need those types of data sets also. Okay, we having a concept, okay, and that time you can use join function, okay, union and intersection, and by storing your all data inside the sets. Okay, this is very helpful when you are dealing with the collection of the data sets for the research students. Okay, see you can store all the elements inside the two different data sets, and if you try to union that one instance, if you found any duplication, it avoided, and only the one set of data will be available for you. Okay, that concept. Next, if you make intersections, which are the duplicated values are there, it's going to identify only those things and fetch and given to you. Okay, these types of concepts are needed when you are dealing with the selection of the data sets. Okay, this is very helpful in this way in the research activities. Okay, see now you can see that one union, you can use the union method that reacts, okay, as it returns a new set contains it of all the items from the both the sets. Okay, union sense it's going to include all the elements and given as a new set. Okay, see that one here we have set A, B, C, set B, 1, 2, 3. Okay, if you make a union of that one instance, it's going to create it with a new value and assign to the new variable, that is set 3, and display the results with the remaining one. Okay, so I will demonstrate inside the Python environment. Here you are having the A, B, C and 1, 2, 3. These are the two different sets. These are the two different sets what we having. Okay, 1, 2, 3 and A, B, C. I am trying to union of those two and store inside the set 3. And I am display the set 3. You can see that 1, 2, 3 and A, B, C are displayed over here. Okay, see as I said previously, see that the major advantage in these sets, okay, see we having two different data sets what we have. Okay, data sets are there, but okay, you don't know which are the elements are already, okay, is there with my data set. Okay, we having a set A, set 2, assume. Okay, see set 3 having A, B, C, D. Okay, only D is the new element I am present inside the set 2. But okay, I am taking only one example over here. When you're dealing with the thousands of data sets, okay, you don't know which are the elements are already there with me. I am simply training my system unnecessarily. You don't know that one. And that time you can store inside all your data sets inside the sets and try to make union. And when you do that one instance, only the resultant value will avoid all the duplication value. Okay, many times you need to avoid the duplicated value need to be avoided when you are dealing with your research concept. Okay, unnecessary training your system for with the same input is wasted. Okay, for that reasons, to avoid the duplicated value, you can use the sets. When you make a union, you show only the resultant within unduplicated value. Okay, this is very helpful when you are dealing with your data sets. Okay, I hope you understand. ABC and ABCD is there. Only D is the new thing. after integration, sorry, after union, we avoid it and only resultant with the, okay, avoid by avoiding the duplicated value. Okay, I hope you understand. Last one for two, okay, regarding the sets, that is intersection. Okay, intersection. Okay, intersection updates the method will keep only the items that are present in the both the sets. Okay, means which are, okay, which are the duplicated values are available inside the both the sets. Only those elements are present inside the intersection. Okay, now here we are having the two sets, that is apple, banana, and cherry, and we are having the y having the Google, Microsoft, and Apple. When you integrate them in sense, okay, only apple are the elements having the common element is within those two, and it will be displayed inside the output screen. Okay, see that I will demonstrate those things inside the program. See that in the both the list only one element is present as an, okay, present as a common element, that is apple. When you integrate and integrate and updated in y, okay, see that one. Okay, here we are integrated and update command also used, and it is stored at my y. Then if you print the text value instance, okay, it will display the common element what we have. Okay, these are the concepts you're supposed to discuss on sets. Before moving to the dictionary, just a glance. Okay, what do you mean by Python sets? We discussed it is unordered and unindexed. Next, text items are unordered, unchangeable, and not allow the duplicated value. And I given the discussion, sorry, difference between list, tuple, sets, and dictionary. After that one, length of the set, I am using len function. Next, which are the data elements are stored in different types of data types are stored inside the sets, we discussed. Next, which type it is. Okay, either it is a set, either it is a tuple, either it is a, okay, dictionary. How to know that one instance? By using type function. Okay, how to access? By using for loop. Okay, how to add element? By using add function. Okay, by using add function. By how to update? I want to change some value instance by using update function. Okay, I want to add a new element inside the set by using add function. How to remove? By remove function. Next, remove the, okay, I want to remove the last element by using pop function. I want to clear, a set should be present, but inside the elements, all elements have to be removed. I am using clear function. Okay, next, along with that one, okay, I want to delete the entire sets. I am using delete function. And I want to access one by all the elements inside the inside the sets. I am using loop. By union function. Okay, union, you know that one, adding all the elements, okay, in the both the sets. If duplication is available, okay, remove those, okay, by using union function. And lastly, what are the common elements are there inside the two sets? I am using intersection function. Okay, these are the concept we are discussed inside the sets. Okay, now I try to move towards the dictionary. Okay, please query. Okay, anyone having any doubts in sense, please please come to online board. I hope no doubts. Shall I move to the next concept? Shall I move to the next concept? Fine. Okay, anyone plus replay. Either the slide is visible on the screen because I opened the new folder, new file. Anyone please replay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so far we discussed regarding the sets. Okay, now the second things you are supposed to discuss is that one, dictionary. Okay, see what do you mean by dictionary? See, you people see the dictionary in the day-to-day life, just like, okay, a standard English dictionary, English to Kannada dictionary we have in the, you people may see. Okay, what it may consist of? It may consist of a key and along with an value. Okay, what you seen in the dictionary, same thing, that one. Okay, what do you mean by apple? Okay, Kannadadalli, okay, if you say that one, okay, what do you mean by apple in the dictionary? If you translate English to Kannada dictionary instance, apple instance, it is a Cebu. Like that, we have the, for a particular key, we have some value. Okay, this Python dictionary is as the same type. Okay, inside the dictionary, we have the key and their value. Okay, see, dictionary is a collection which is order and changeable. Order and changeable. Order is, we put it at the start. Why? Because if you say the my keys are in a particular order, you say that one, the dictionary is in order. If you say my key values are not in order instance, you say that one, Python dictionary is in unordered. Okay, you're not having a, okay, you can't decide that one, my dictionary is in order or unorder, because it, as per the requirement, you can change in the both the way, but you can changeable. As like, okay, the some meaning of a particular English dictionary also change frequently. Like that, the dictionary values can be changeable. Okay, it is similar to our dictionary. Okay, some dictionary names may be added. Okay, the single word having the single meaning so far instance, by coming here that having a multiple meaning, or some okay, dictionary values may be added in between. For that reasons, it is ordered and unchangeable. Okay, see, now I want to demonstrate how you say that one, it is ordered and unchangeable. See how to create a dictionary. Then dictionary will be enclosed within the flower braces. The dictionary should be enclosed within the flower braces. In the PPT, you can see that one, we having this dictionary. There we having a brand, model, and key, and here as the key. These are the keys. Brand is a key, model is a key, and year is the key. And therefore, okay, Mustang and 1964 are all the values that we having. Okay, see, if you demonstrate those things inside the program, see, you can see that one. Brand, see that one. See, I am creating a dictionary with the 3 different keys and their values. Okay, and their values. I am try to display that dictionary. When a dictionary is displayed, the brand Ford, model 1, and year 1964. Okay, like that. Okay, always the dictionary should consist of 2 things, that is key and value. Key values are displayed and values are displayed in the output screen. Okay, move to the next slide. Dictionary items. Okay, see, the dictionary items are order, changeable, and does not allow the duplication. Okay, order in sense on the basis of, okay, on the basis of what key you are following, you can say that one, it is order, and it can changeable, and duplication is not allowed. Okay, no duplication value. Dictionary items are presented in the key and hyphen pair. Okay, okay, dictionary always consists of key and value. Okay, in the regular dictionary, you may see that one, only the keys are there with no value. No, only values are there with no key. No, dictionary always consists of key and value as a pair. Okay, and we can refer by using the key name. Okay, how to see that one instance? Okay, by using key name, you can find the value of it. Just like, okay, inside the English dictionary, you are trying for searching for a particular key elements. Okay, after that one, you can find the value of it. Okay, see that here we are having the brand. I need to print the brand of it instance. It's going to print the brand and their value inside the output screen. That this dictionary having the brand, model, and year. Okay, I'm querying with the brand. A brand value anta barutte. Okay, what is the brand value? It's going to display it in the output screen. Okay, see, usually we are searching inside the dictionary by using key value only, and their values are displayed. Okay, if I change brand instead of, okay, if I use the model, okay, display the year. Year is the keyword. It's displaying 1964. Okay, how to query inside the dictionary instance? By using, okay, key value. Move on. Okay, order and unorder. When we say that the dictionaries are order, it means that items as have a defined order, and that order will not change. Okay, say when you say that one is order, in sense that values are in an order, particular order it follows. Unorder means it does not have any defined order. Okay, order is not maintained, and we cannot refer any items by using the index. Okay, both thing is possible. In the first slide itself, I said that one, it is order and unorder, both also accepted. For that reason, we put it as order with the star. And you can, okay, next concept is that one, it is changeable. Dictionaries are changeable means that we can change or add or remove the item after dictionary has been created. Okay, in the sets, if your set is created, you can't change the value. Okay, but in the dictionary, if they created a dictionary, you can change the value also. Okay, for that reasons, you say that one, dictionary is changeable. Dictionary is changeable. Okay, it is order and unorder, both also accepted, and values are changeable. Okay, duplicates not allowed. Okay, dictionary cannot have two items with the same key. Okay, say in the normal dictionary also, apple will not remain two times, like that. Okay, dictionary items values will not, okay, not duplicated. Key values are there inside the dictionary. Okay, duplicated value will be overwritten the existing value. Okay, since, okay, if you use the two key values of the same with the different values, on that time the new key value will be overwritten the older one. You can see over here, brand, model, and year are the three components are there. Year will be written twice. The newer value is 2020. For that reason, 1964 is overwritten by the 2020. Okay, you can check that one. That 1964 is older one, and after that one we are overwritten by using the same key with the 2020. For that reasons, 1964 is written, okay, overwritten by 2020. Okay, key values are not duplicated inside the dictionary. If you overwritten that one instance, sorry, if you duplicate that one instance, the older value get, okay, renamed. The older value get renamed or overwritten. Okay, see, if I use the key name new one, okay, year one, okay, year one also displayed there. If you, okay, meaning will be remain. Okay, see, if you rename within 1964 is new value to that, but the key value is different. The key value is different. For that reason, it define the both the value. Okay, not an issue at all. But key value will not duplicate. Okay, original, okay, value can be duplicated, but not the key value. I hope you followed. Okay, next. Okay, dictionary length. I want to know the length of the dictionary. To determine how many items are in the dictionary, you can use len function. Okay, you can use len function. It show the length of the dictionary. See that? See, here we are having a dictionary, and what's the length of it? Okay, see how many elements are there. How many elements are there? See that one, you found 4 elements, but here is duplication. For that reason, is overwritten and taken as the 3 values. For that reason, output is shown as 3. Okay, by using len function, you can find the length of the dictionary. You can find the length of the dictionary. Next, I want to know the dictionary type. Okay, you can use type of that one as like you seen in your, okay, seen in your sets. You can use the type of it. Okay, see, this dictionary, the length is 3, and what is the type? What is the type of this? It's showing DICT, dictionary. DICT is showing dictionary, because here we are having key and value. In the sets, we not having key and value, only the values are there. Though there we don't have any keys, even though it's followed by the flower braces, but it don't having the follow any methods like that. It's having keys and values. Okay, for that reasons it considered, okay, dictionary, which type it is in sense, it say that one, it is a dictionary type. Okay, move on. Okay, next, access the dictionary items. I want to access means sense, I want to see each and every elements inside my dictionary one by one. Same as, okay, see, you can see by using, okay, you can see by using access value through this. Okay, you can access the item of the dictionary by referring its key and name and inside the square braces. Okay, key element have to be discard. Okay, these key element are supposed to return over here, and those values will be, okay, display in the output screen. I want to see, okay, inside the dictionary I want to see any element in sense, you're supposed to use the key element. On the basis of key element, you can get a value. No, the same manner here. Okay, you are trying to access any elements inside the dictionary by using their key value. Okay, see that one. Say that we are having a dictionary brand model, and here I am accessing in sense reaching that dictionary. Okay, by which model it is. This is the keyword I am using. Okay, display the dictionary. Okay, see it. So what is the model? We are having the value. This value will be displayed outside the screen. Not printed for that reason. Okay, see, I just access and not printed for that reason, output is not showing. Okay, I am access the model. Okay, model is mustrons. Okay, I am displaying the x value get displayed over here in the inside the output screen. You can see that one. Okay, see, if I display the year, okay, I try to access the year, just access it, and their values are get displayed over here. Okay, simple. Okay, next, get the key. The key method will return the list of all the keys in the dictionary. Okay, which are the different keys are there inside my dictionary. I want to know that one. Okay, how to know that one sense? By using key. Okay, by using key function. By using key function, you can list out those. That but using key you can find out those. Next, get their values. Okay, only values I want to know that one instance. Okay, the value method will return the list of all the values in the dictionary. Only values I need to display. Previously it display all the keys, now it displaying all the values. Okay, how to know that one instance? By using value function. Okay, value function. Okay, display all the values over here. See that, okay, all the values are displayed here. Okay, at this key values. Okay, it display all the values. It display all the values. Okay, so if I assign key here, keys, keys, it display all the keys. Previously keys are displayed over here, and previously it display all the values. Okay, now move on to the next one. Okay, add a new item to the original dictionary. I want to add a new item inside my original dictionary. The original dictionary having the car, having the brand, model, and year. I'm trying to add one more key value here. Okay, I want to add a new key here and new value over here. Okay, after adding what happens and before adding what happens, you can see over here. say that car is the dictionary. There we have three values, and I am adding a key, okay, and adding a key as a car, and having a color as the value, okay, color as the value. After adding, what happens? You can see that one. See, brand, model, and year are the previous three values what we having, and there we having after adding the key color, then the color is the value, and their value is white. Okay, white concept will be displayed over here. Okay, previously we having three keys. Now after adding, we having four keys. After adding keys, we having four values. Okay, simple. You can add one more value to the dictionary also by using add key function. Okay, add a new items to the original dictionary. Next, make a changes in the original dictionary. I want to change a value. Previously we having some value. I want to modify that. Means update it. How to update? Okay, by using update function. See, you can access a particular key value and previous value to the new value. Okay, previously it is 1964. Okay, in that one, the car dictionary having the value called as year. That year need to be assigned with the value 2020. It update. Okay, I want to change the original value. The original value is 1964. I'm changing to 2020. Okay, how to update? By using this function. Okay, you can check out that. See that. So previously we having the brand, model, and year of 1964. Okay, I access that value. I can print that value first. I print that value. Now I change the year by 1964 to 2020. Once that value get changed, I am printing the new value. See that one. You can see that one. 2020 is the new value I am printing. Okay, like that you can modify the dictionary value also. You can modify the dictionary value also. Okay, next, get items. Okay, item method will return each item in the dictionary as a tuples in the list. Okay, which are the different items are there? I want to list all the things inside my dictionary. You can use item function. Okay, how it works? We're going to see. Okay, all the items are displayed inside the output screen. That this list, okay, this list having three values. Okay, all the items are displayed. Okay, all the elements, okay, item wise. What is brand their value, model with their value, year with that value. Okay, I want to view in the form of item wise. You can use item function. I hope you understood. Okay, now remove the dictionary items. I want to remove a particular item from the dictionary. How to remove that one? Sense by using two methods. By using pop function to remove the tail end component, or you can remove a pop function. You can pass a particular key value. It remove the particular elements from the dictionary. Okay, say how it works. See that one here we having model is having some model. I want to remove that. After removing that one, only two key elements are there. We're going to display that. Okay, you can check out that one inside the Python environment. See that here I am trying to remove the model from this list. Okay, after removing, we are having only two things, that is brand and year. Only brand and year are left out, and remaining elements are discarded, or remaining that model is get deleted. Okay, this function is Python remove the dictionary items. I want to remove the dictionary items. Okay, how to remove? By using pop function. Okay, next, remove the dictionary items. Okay, dictionary items by using delete function also you can delete that one. Okay, delete keyword removes the items which are specified key name. Okay, why you supposed to given the key name? At that time, on the basis of the key name, it delete the particular key element. Okay, see that we're going to demonstrate this one inside the Python environment. See that, see here we have the three values. Okay, I try to remove the model. Okay, delete and discard, remove and forget that model. Okay, after discard, okay, pop also you can use, and discard function also you can use. See that one, model get deleted. Instead of model, if you rename with year, year get deleted. That's it. You can use to deleting function, you can use two things, that is discard, sorry, that is pop and delete. See that one, year function get deleted here. Brand is retained and model get retained. Other things get deleted. Okay, next, clear. As you seen in the sets, clear function will going to clear all the elements inside my dictionary. Clear function methods empty the dictionary. Dictionary will not deleted, only the elements inside the dictionary get deleted. Okay, we can demonstrate this. That we are having a dictionary, we are trying to clear. Okay, clear this function. Clear means all the elements inside my dictionary get deleted, and say that one no. Okay, if you try to display that one instance, dictionary is there but no elements are present inside my dictionary. Dictionary will not deleted here. When you clear, only dictionary will be available, but only the elements inside the dictionary get deleted. Are clear? Next, loop through the dictionary. Okay, loop through the dictionary in sense one by one element, all the elements you can loop through either by using the key, either by using the value, or either by using the both. Okay, three things can possible. Which are the, okay, inside my sets you can loop only through the elements. There we having key, not having keys and values, but here we having the keys and values continuously. You can loop through individually. Okay. Inside the inside the Python environment, I am try to loop. See that one, x in this list value. Value in sense only the values get passed through. Key, only the keys get passed through. Both in sense both values and keys get passed through. If you run that one instance, see that one, starting we given only the values. Values are Ford, Mercedes and 1964. Keys are brand, model and year, brand, model and year, and both instance two elements get displayed at the same time. Okay, here we can split it in the three ways. Okay, values, keys and both as item. Okay, one more thing, if you duplicate over here, what happens? Okay, with the new value, see what happens? Duplicated. Okay, duplication is not allowed. Duplication is not allowed. See that here will be displayed only once, but new value will be overwritten with the older one. New value is 2020 is the new value, 1964 is the older value. It get overwritten by the new value. Okay, next, last concept of the dictionary is that one. Okay, copy the dictionary. Copy the dictionary in sense one more dictionary is there. I want to copy all the elements inside my dictionary, or one dictionary is there. I want to copy all the elements to the one more dictionary. Okay, both things are possible. Okay, you can try out this. You can copy a dictionary. That this dictionary is there. I am copying all the values inside my dictionary. This dictionary having three values. I copy all the elements to this dictionary. When I display my dictionary, the same values will be displayed. See that. There also having brand, there having model, and there we having the years. Okay, a dictionary to dictionary copy is allowed. Dictionary to dictionary copy is allowed. Okay, Now just glance, okay, this is the end of the dictionary. Before moving to the object and classes, I just glance what are the topics we covered on dictionary. Okay, simple Python dictionary. Dictionary means we have a key and value. Next, dictionary items. Okay, how to display, okay, dictionary items in sense how to display all the items inside my, okay, dictionary. Next, how you say, when you say order and when you say is unordered, and how you can change the value. Okay, duplication is not allowed. It can be overwritten. Here will be overwritten over here. Next, dictionary length. By using len function, you can see the length of it, and type of it by using type of function. Access by using loop or by using individual key value. You can access the dictionary, get the key. Okay, I want only the key of it. Okay, I want the only key of the model. You can get the value of by using get function. Okay, then get the value. Key also you can get and value also you can get. Okay, both also allowed. And add a new, okay, how to add a new element inside the dictionary you learned. Make the changes in the original dictionary. Then the older value is there. I want with a newer value. How to change that one? Make a changes in the original dictionary and get an item. How to get an item inside the dictionary we learned, and remove the dictionary items. How to remove by using pop function or by using delete and discard function. You can remove the items and clear all the dictionary items and make it as empty. You can use clear function. Then you can loop through the key only, you can loop through the only the values only, or you can loop through on entire set. Okay, through looping function. Here we are loop through only the values, keys and values, and you can copy one dictionary to the another dictionary. Okay, these are the concepts we discussed regarding the dictionary. Okay, please let me know any queries are there before I move to the next concept, that is class and objects. Any doubts? Thank you. Move to the last topic of today's discussion, that is objects and classes. Okay. Today's last topic is Python classes and objects. Okay. Python, okay, is an object-oriented programming language, as you know. Okay, when this day one itself, they discussed that one. Python is an object-oriented programming language. Almost everything in the Python is an object with the properties and methods. Okay, those who have having knowledge regarding the C++ and Java, okay, I say, okay, you know this one, properties and methods. Okay, properties in the sense, okay, in the C++ we say that one data members, they are the properties, and methods, the member function. Okay, we're going to call it as methods here. Okay, methods in the sense it is a function, and properties in the sense the key values are data members. Okay, those are considered as properties over here. Okay, the classes is like just a object constructors or a blueprint or a creating the object. Okay, see what do you mean by class in sense? Okay, when the class is created, only the blueprint is ready. When the object is created, on that time, that on that instance only the memory is allocated to the object. Okay, simply if you define the class instance, the memory is not allocated. Okay, just like a constructor, after creating of the object itself, the value or memory is allocated to that. Okay, next, how to create a class by using the keyword, that is class. Okay, it's not so much important. See, the major concept as we discuss, supposed to discuss in this inside the class is that one init function. Okay, see, you're supposed to understand this. Okay, a very interesting and very important concept in the creation of the class and object is init function. Okay, all the classes have a function called init. Okay, see, we want init, you can also call as initialization function. All the classes get initialized or initiated by inside the init function. See, it is not simple. It is having a 2 underscore followed by init and followed with the 2 underscore with the parameters. Okay. Inside the init parameters, we having first concept is called as self. Self is called it's a this pointer. Okay. It holds the address of it holds the all the object it created. Okay. All the object created will be referred to the self, and which are the data members are there is supposed to list out here. Okay. Say all the classes have the function called a runit, which always executed when the class has been initiated. Whenever the class is initiated, the class init function is automatically initiated. Okay. Use the init function to assign the value to the object property or other operators that are necessary to do when the object has been created. Okay. See, when you use the init functions, it assigns the values and objects. Okay. See, I'm going to demonstrate with the one example and other objects that are necessary to do when the objects has been created. See, inside your C++ and Java, you can just created a class, you can just created an object, and with the object, the data members not having some value, it will be filled with some any garbage value. But in the Python, it not allow all the data members or what you call the property of any object should have a initialize with some value. If you're not having any value inside that one instance, it will not allow you to initialize or use those property. Okay, see, I will demonstrate that one. See that one, create a class name of the person, use the init function and assign the value for name and age. Okay, name and age. Okay, see here, okay, very simple. Class person. Person is a class. Person is a class. Here I am defining the init process. Init process having the self. I already told self is just like a this process. Okay, this pointer. Then name and age are the aliasing parameters. Okay, self name as alias with the name and self age as age. Okay, now the class is created with the value name and age. Okay, I'm just passing the now object is created by using the p1 person is the object. Okay, p1 person is the class name and John and 36 are the values and our attributes. Okay, see, only here is supposed to keep concentrate. The p1, see what are the value? P1 object name will be saved in the self in the sense it's a this pointer, and John and 36 are the values of the properties, that is name and age. Name become John and age become 36. Okay, if you understand this one, the rest of the class discussion is very important, very simple. You're supposed to concentrate on this one. I want to repeat it again. Okay, class person is the creation. Class is just created and defined. Okay, underscore. These are two underscores are here. Init functions are declared. Self, this is a this pointer, and name and age are aliasing name. Okay, what do you mean by name? Okay, self's name is considered as a name. Self in the sense this pointer. This pointer's age is considered as an age. Okay, now p1 is an object. Object in the sense one object is created. The value memory get allocated. That person's John name will be saved at the name, and 36 and is the age is saved at the 36. When you print p1 name is John and p2 name is age. P2 age is 36. It will be displayed. Okay, I will demonstrate that one. Okay, if you understand this one, rest of the class discussion is important, very easier. See that class person is a class is created, init process is get declared, that is self, name and age. Self is this pointer. I am aliasing that name, and p1 here I am object get created. Object will create accepted. Okay, now there we having two concepts, that is John and 36 are the values will be assigned to the name and age. Okay, p1 will be considered as an self, this pointer. Next persons John and 36. Okay, see, inside the Python elements, once in the class it is created in sense, you supposed to give the value to that. Okay, see that one. When I'm printing p1 name, it's get printing. When I'm giving p1 age, it is get printing. If I'm not given the age, at all, it gives us the error. See that it required the age. Okay, see it's required the age. Age is fixed. You need to given. need to given. If you not given the age value, okay, object cannot be created. Okay, if you want to create the object by giving the default value, when you initialize in the class itself, you can given the value to that. Okay, now here when I am creating the value itself, I am giving the age as 36. Okay, see, if you run that one instance, the default value get displayed. Okay, no, I'm not ready with the default value. I needed the actual value. Assume that was 55. See, actual real value get overwritten the default value. Okay, see, inside the Python, objects are class are created with the with the member functions or properties what we're having. You can assign the default value also. Okay, if no default values are there, instance it's not allowed. Okay, if not defined value is not given instance, you is supposed to given the actual value. If the actual value is not defined instance, it gives the error. Okay, next discussion. Next, object methods. Okay, see, object methods in the sense just like a member. Okay, in the C++ we are having a class and class members. Okay, member functions and member functions are there now, just like it's a functions. Okay, here we are having a class. Objects can also be contains the methods. The methods in the objects are functions that are belong to that objects. Okay, here the class person is the class. There it having a defined with the two properties, that is name and age. There we having the member function that is defined. We are having a one more member function. Member function says it functions. Okay, now we are printing the name is equal to plus of, okay, we are just displaying the name by concatenating self name. Okay, now here year to year we consider this one that as object is get created. Now here we are assigning the value p1 persons John and 36 and p1 age is 40 and print p1 age. Okay, okay, now you can try out those things inside the program. Object methods. See that, say I am created an object and object method. Object method is my function. They're having some operation to perform. Now object get created with the two values. Now I am trying to print the member function, not the object. Okay, member function having the concept say that one my name is self name in sense it having the here it having the person as the class. They're having the name and their name will get access and display. See that, hello, my name is John. It is get concatenated and their values are obtained from the class. Okay, this is member function. Okay, move on. Object methods. Modifying the object property. Okay, see, objects are created. I want to change their values. Next, how to change? Okay, here see that one class are there, then member functions are there. Okay, member functions are there. See, I are assigned with the John and 36. Okay, that values are fixed with over here. I want to change that one. Instance. Okay, by using point operator. This operator we are going to call it as point operator. So you can using this operator you can modify the values. Okay, after modifying, if you display that one instance, it display the new result. See, you can check that one. See that. See, initially we have the value 36. 36 age will be copied to the class. Okay, see this is class. This is member function. Object is created with the value. Next, I want to change that value. I am changing the value from 36 to 40. Now, if I print the age of it, displaying 40. Okay, new value get displayed. Now, move on to next concept. Okay, delete the object property. Okay, say I want to see object when you're creating the class, we having the Okay, we are having the property. Property is member function. Okay, data members. Data members are properties and member functions are there. I want to delete that one. Means age is the property of it. I want to delete that one instance by using del function. You can delete. You can using the del function. You can delete. Once you delete that one instance, only the remaining contents will be displayed. That see we having the name and age as the property, and there we having a member function, and I created the object over here, object with the name as John and the age as 36, and I have updated. I am deleting that age. The property itself get deleted. Once the property get deleted, it's supposed to give on the error. See that one. It's supposed to giving the age illa. Okay, we don't have age. It's going to display like that. Okay, so if you not delete that one instance, okay, age will be displayed automatically by hash is the comment line arguments. Okay, if you display age, you display the age of it. Okay, since I'm deleting that property itself, okay, it's giving the error message to us. Okay, see next. Inheritance. Okay, Python inheritance. Inheritance allow us to define the class that inherit all the methods and properties from the another class. Means the inheritance is just like, okay, we are copying our many more features of our parents. Okay, many more features of our parents are copied from the children. Like that, in the okay, C++ or object oriented concept. Okay, inheritance is one of the important concept. Okay, here we are having the Python inheritance. It allows to define the classes that are inherit all the methods and properties. Okay, which are the properties are there, which are the methods are there from your parent class. You can use those things and you can enjoy those things. Okay, that is the that is features of feature. Okay, that is inheritance. Okay, here we are having two things: parent class and child class. Okay, parent class is the class begins inherited from all called base class. Okay, see parent class and inherited called as base class. Okay, child class is a class that inherits from the another class is also called as derived class. Okay, parent class is always considered as an base class, and child class is always considered as an derived class. Okay, see by using this diagram, I will demonstrate. Okay, I will explain what do you mean by inherited. See your single inheritance. Okay, super classes there and subclasses are there. Okay, see super classes, what are the properties and methods are there inside the super class can be used by the subclasses also. Okay, but here it is a single one. Okay, hierarchical super inheritance, here we are having one super class and many subclasses. Okay, all subclasses can use the properties and methods of the hierarchical classes. Okay, multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance, here we are having super class, subclass and subclass 2. Subclass 2 can inherit the values of subclass 1. Subclass 1 having the inherit the operations of superclass. Okay, hybrid inheritance, we are having two subclasses and okay, yeah, like that we are having hybrid, and multiple inheritance, two superclasses and one subclasses. Okay, these subclasses can inherit from both. Okay, just a parent, okay, mother and father. Okay, both the class, these subclasses can inherit all both the properties and methods. Okay, how inheritance are work out in the Python. Okay, creating a class person and first name and last name property, and okay, print the methods. Okay, see that one here we have the we are having the class name by the person. There we have the first name and first name and their methods. Okay, member function. Okay, first name and last name are access. Now I am going to create one more method here. One more method here called as a student, and it not having any methods. It not having any properties or methods. Just passes the control to the person. Now I created the object by using X, student, mic and oral. Okay, see if I pass that for instance, I'm calling the student, but it having the inheritance. See that one, this function. Subclass is student and superclass is person. Superclass, okay, it passes all the control to here. It can access all the features of this and display the results. I demonstrate this one. John and Doe. Okay, see that one. Here we have the parent class and member function. Next we have parent class and member function. Say wait. Member function. See, when you created a subclass, when you want to print that one instance, okay, from the base class, it accesses all the features and displayed over here. Okay, John and Doe are the values are printed over here. Okay, person is the new class over here. It's going to printed those values. Okay. Next, use of superclass. Okay. See, superclass. Okay, instead of, okay, see here, we having the base, Python also use as a super function that will make the child class to inherit all the methods and properties of its parents. Okay, see, when you say that, okay, when you having a parent class as a person, there we having there some properties and methods, and okay, I supposed to copy all the features of those. I supposed to say that one, this is the child of that parent. Okay, how to use that one sense? By using super function. See, here the person is the main class and this is the property of it, and student is the subclass, and there here we are having the super as to inherit all the features of the parent class. Okay, it copies all the features of the parent class to the subclasses and allow you to access the features. Okay, see, I will demonstrate. That person is the base class. Okay, person is the base class. It is defined with the first name and last name, and we having the member function, okay, or method. There, this is the base class, and this is the child parent class, or this is the child class. Okay, when you call the child class, okay, I need to access the first name and last name from the parent class. On that time, you can use the function called as super. Okay, it inherits all the features of the base class to the child class, and from the child class you can access that one. See that one, when you created the object, you are calling this subclass only and passes the value. Okay, what are these in the sense? It will be defined at the base class. Those features are accessed and displayed in as a Mike and Oslan in the output. Okay, last concept of today's discussion is add a property. Okay, I want to add one more property to my base class. Okay, see see, assume that one, here we have the base class with the first name and last name, and they're having the member function. Okay, we having a child class as a student. There we having some member function. I need to add one more property to my class. Say that one, okay, graduation. I need to print the graduation of that one. Okay, only first name and last name is there. I want to add the graduation to the function. On the time, okay, you can add like this. Okay, once you print that one instance, so what's the graduation? It will be displayed on the screen. That here we are having the parent class, okay, init process, okay, there we are having the this pointer and the first name and last name, then first name get alias and second last name is get alias. There this is a member function. Then we have the child class as a student. There we are having the super class. I need to add this feature. Graduation is equal to 2019 to the base class. Okay, if you created an object, okay, only Mike and Ol will be entered over here. I want to see the graduation. On the time, it will display the graduation also. Okay, you are adding one more property to the main class. We are adding one more property to the function. Okay, now it displayed over here. Okay, I hope you understood the classes and objects. Okay, thank you. just glance what are the concept we discussed regarding the object and classes, and next the concept is that one you can ask the question to that one. Okay, now we discuss regarding the Python classes and object, what to mean by Python and classes, how to create by using create class. Okay, now after that one we discuss regarding init function. Init function is, okay, here init function, whenever we created a objects and classes, init function will be automatically called. Okay, next after that how to create a, okay, how to create a classes and how to define the objects we discuss. Next, how to add the member function inside the class we discussed. Next, modify the object property. The properties are there, how to modify. Before, previously we are having the age of 36, I how to change that one to the 40. Okay, member properties. Next, delete the object property. Age is the property of the function. I want to delete that one instance. By using delete function you can delete. Then what do you mean by inheritance? What do you mean by parent class and child class we discussed. Okay, different types of inheritance were discussed, and how to create a parent class we discussed. Okay, this is the parent class, this is the child class. How, okay, how it will access the, okay, inheritance, okay, inherent properties of the parent we discussed, and use of the super function. Okay, how to access the main, okay, parent class from the child class by using the super function we discussed, and add the properties. Okay, I want to add one more property to, just like graduation, to the main function. Okay, so sorry, parent class, how to add that one we discuss. Okay, thank you, dear participants, for your patience listening of from last 2 years, 2 hours. Any doubts you can query now. Madam?
More. Yes. Thank you, sir. Floor is open for the questions. You can ask your questions through chat box. Place your questions in the chat box, or you can ask it over the audio.
Hoping no for questions, sir.
Okay. There seems to be no questions, so we are going to end of today's day 4. I'd like to thank Professor Somsekhar PM for giving his valuable time and explaining in detail about sets, dictionary, class definition constructor, and inheritance, touching upon all the various aspects of Python, major aspects, and we hope it will be helpful for all the research scholars and beginners to Python. Thank you very much, sir, for a wonderful and hands-on session for today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Somsekhar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, all participants. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Tomorrow, we'll be having the final session from Dr. Chandrajit M. A final session, indeed a great session it will be tomorrow. Please don't miss for tomorrow's session. Be in time at 2 p.m. Thank you all. Stay safe and provide your valuable feedback today for the day 4th session. Don't miss it. Thank you all. See you tomorrow at 2 p.m.